My name is Mac McLaughlin. I'm one of the owners of Mind Game Productions. We're a airsoft events company based out of Florida. Well, what airsoft is a tactical simulation game.
All right, well, the reason why I got into airsoft, one of my martial arts students quit coming to class, and the reason that she gave me was she was getting into airsoft. And I remember airsoft as those little brown and blue orange toys you get with little yellow BBs. But I started doing some research on the internet and on YouTube and saw how people were getting into it with the whole gear and really what they refer to as military simulation.
All right, so the way that the SB came about years ago, back in the 80s, used to play laser tag with my friends, and it was popular back then. Anyway, fast forward to like last year, we decided to pick back up laser tag and picked back up the name Star Beamers, and we were playing and laser tag, and we didn't really get a lot of people to play, and that's when we first started thinking about getting into airsoft.
As far as a comparison of airsoft and real life combat, there are obviously some big differences. The biggest difference that impacts it is really the range of the weapons. The weapons, for the most part, maybe have an effective range of maybe 150 feet. Sniper rifles, maybe 200, 225 perhaps. So that's a big difference. A lot of times, obviously in the real world, you can see and shoot someone at a much greater distance than what you can at airsoft. So you will see sometimes on an airsoft field guys doing things that would be really stupid in the real world. I mean, just standing out in the open when they know the enemy's out of range for airsoft, but would not be for real weapons.
Well, we don't really go after each other with the real thing. What do? We use a fake thing. It still hurts. You hit yourself, you feel it. It doesn't tickle. But the same thing. You're not going after each other with the real thing, but when you get hit with it, it stings. Depending on how far away you are.
There are, however, I will say though, there are actually a number of teams though that are really remarkable. Florida has some extremely good airsoft teams. Now, you ask about prior service. I would say, I don't have any hard figures, but if I just had to estimate, I would say maybe 25 to 30% of airsofters, maybe even more, probably do have military experience.
I couldn't go into the military due to an eye impairment. I'm actually what they refer to as legally blind. My vision is 2200, which roughly means what you can see comfortably at 200 feet, I'd have to be 20 feet from to be able to see in the same detail.
How I got started in airsoft, well, as my husband was stating, that we also were playing laser tag back a couple months to a year ago and found out that we couldn't get a team together, and then it was boring. So again, we saw Doug running around with his gun, and he asked me if I wanted to be part of the airsoft, and I was like, well, as long as it don't hurt, I will do it.
When I saw my neighbor Doug walk by with an M4 just randomly shooting it at the ground, he's a psycho, by the way, if you haven't picked up on that yet. And I asked him, I said, do you play airsoft? And he said, no, but blah, 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 blah. And so we got some stuff, and he already had some stuff, and we kind of started exploring it from there. But Star Beamers seemed kind of lame for an airsoft team name. So we changed it to the SB, and it stayed that way for a while because it has a good ring to it, the SB. And then eventually we added what it stands for, the Sons of Jiu-Jitsu. That's kind of Doug's idea. It kind of plays into his martial arts side of it and whatnot. It's the Sons of War, Sons of Combat, something like that.
It's a little like paintball. It's much newer than paintball, and probably there are a lot of big scenario paintball games going, but paintball has also largely gone to the speedball mode. Airsoft still remains very scenario driven, very tactical. The weapons are very realistic, but instead of shooting paint, they fire small pellets, usually biodegradable pellets or plastic pellets. You still need eye protection. You don't need quite the full face mask as you need for paintball, but it's very tactical driven. Guys spend a lot of money not only on the weapons but also their gear.
It's a way of exploring combat in a safe environment without getting killed.
Airsoft is still relatively recent, and airsoft, I think, is just really now becoming a little bit more in the public eye. For a number of years, I think really, in all sincerity, I think a lot of airsofters early on during the sport we're kind of happy that the sport was kind of underground, that it wasn't that well known, because the weapons do look very, very realistic. And a lot of the older airsofters are very concerned about, younger players, kids getting the weapons, and not really being experienced at how to handle the weapons, and doing something stupid with it, possibly getting themselves injured, or bringing back a lot of bad press on the sport.
Show me what you want.